So I'm going to give you 10 seconds. How many of these can you name? Right? Have a look. How many people can you name? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, put your hand up if you can name all 10 of them. No? Maybe 9? Oh, maybe 8? Oh, maybe 7? 6? Maybe 6. 6, okay. Can you tell me who they are? Can you say that out for me? Well, who do you know? Jesus, that's great. Well, good job. Give her a round of applause. Imal Clooney, well done. That's very good. That's 2. Malala, that's it. Good job. That's 3. Greta, very good. Oprah, very good. Einstein, yes, very good. All right, that's very good. Now that's very good. Now, for all of the boys who are soccer fan, do you guys know who this gentleman here is? Yes, all right. So nobody knows. There's one here, Siapavyak. He knows it's Stadio Mane. Now I'm going to talk to you. These are the names of these incredible people. These are all immigrants that have done incredible things for the world and mainly for their community, from where they've come from. They have a passion and a heart for their people. Right? So we've got Greta Thunberg, Ando, Oprah, Dang, he's an Australian who's a lawyer who's fighting for refugees and asylum seekers. Albert Einstein was an immigrant. Jesus was an immigrant. He had to move around. Amal Clooney, Iman, this one is a model. She's a supermodel. This is Malala, and this is Sadio Mane. And out of these incredible people, I want to highlight 2 incredibly young people that have had a huge impact in the world and in their community. Sadio Mane, I might be saying his name wrong, but he's a very famous soccer player. He played for Liverpool more famously. And I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram or online. There was a huge media story around a football player who earns over $10 million a year. That's a minimum, $10 million a year. Walks around with a phone that's broken. And he uses it all the time. Wherever he goes, it's always broken. And he never fixes it. So they're like, why don't you fix it? Well, this is what he said. He said, what would I want? Why would I want 10 Ferraris, 20 diamond watches, and 2 jet planes? What would that do for the world? I starved, I worked in the field, I played barefoot, and I didn't go to school. Now I can help people. I prefer to build schools and give poor people food and clothing. I have built schools and a stadium. We provide clothing, shoes, and food for people in extreme poverty. In addition, I give 70 euros per month to all people from a poor village in the Senegalese region in order to contribute to their family's economy. I do not need to display luxury cars, luxury homes, trips, and even plane. I prefer that my people receive little of what life has given me. That's what he said. I prefer that my people receive a little of what life has given me. Mane didn't grow up in a rich country, didn't grow up. He actually grew up in a poor country called Senegal, and he lived in a mud house, like a mud house. He grew up extremely poor, and when he wanted to pursue a career in soccer and football, he didn't have the opportunity. He played with bare foot. He worked really hard. His father died when he was the age of 6 because there was no access to healthcare. But when he grew up, he worked really hard. He grew up and became a famous footballer. And he didn't care about the money, the fame, or the wealth. He cared about his people. He cared about giving back to his people. In the same way, that's the house that he grew up in. In the same way, we have a little girl, well, she's not little anymore, Malala. So Malala was born in Pakistan. And in Pakistan, when the Taliban invaded, they said that girls couldn't go to school. They had all these restrictions. And Malala actually spoke out. So I'm going to read some of this. I spoke out publicly on behalf of girls and our right to learn. And this made me a target. In October 2012, on my way home from school, a masked gunman boarded my school bus and asked, "Who is Malala?" He shot me on the left side of my head. After months of surgery and rehabilitation, I joined my family in our new home in the UK. It was then I knew I had a choice. I could live a quiet life, or I could make the most of this new life I've been given. I was determined to continue my fight until every girl could go to school. This girl was shot by the Taliban for wanting to go to school, for fighting for girls in a country that had all these laws, in a country where the people that were supposed to protect them didn't protect them but caused harm. Despite all of that, despite the hurt, despite the harm that she had been exposed to, she chose to stand up and say, "I'm going to fight for my country. I'm going to fight for what I believe in," and contribute back to her community. And so you're probably wondering why. Why do people give back? And why are we having these seminars to talk about giving back? For those two people in particular, they knew who they were. They were proud of where they had come from. Despite the hardship, despite not having anything, despite growing in poverty, they were proud of who they are. They were proud of their people. They were proud of their land. They were proud of their story. And so, as soon as they had the chance, they choose to speak out, and they choose to help their homeland. What about you? Are you proud to be a Chin person? Are you proud of your Chinland? Because you should be. We are Chin people. And it's one of the biggest blessings that we have on this earth is to be born a Chin person. We have a very rich history. We have many, many languages. We have a rich culture, rich values, rich tradition that has been ongoing for many years. I am Ruby, and I'm so proud to be a Chin person. We also have the beautiful Chinland. None of the mountains in Chinland could compare to anywhere else in this whole wide world. Our Chinland is beautiful. This photo up here, that's Ze Pai. This is where the rice fields are. We call it Ze Pai Bay. Yeah, that's all of the rice fields. How beautiful is that? How peaceful is that? The second one, the one right in the middle, that's Hakka, from Hakka viewpoint. Look how beautiful some of the places. This view down here, all of this mountain, that's Matupi. Our Chinland is so beautiful. It's so peaceful. Our people have always taken care of each other. And that's one of the main things that I'm so proud to be a Chin person, is that we have a big family. This is my family. These are the family that are still back home. These are the family that are still struggling every day, worried whether they're going to be able to see the next day. These are my family. And one of the things I love about being a Chin person in this family is that if you go to your mom and you ask, pick anyone in the room, you might not have seen them. You pick that person. Mom, how am I related to that person? Half an hour, maybe an hour later, she will tell you exactly how you are related to that person, even though you've never seen them in your whole life. That's how we are. We love everyone. Our family is beyond just the immediate family that the Western society has. the person next door, the person that lives in the village. There is never a homeless person. There is never an orphan, because we take care of our family. No one ever goes hungry in Chin State, because you can go to the next person, the next house, and you eat together. The photo right in the corner is a dinner I had with my grandpa. It was just rice, some soup, and some chicken. I had the privilege of having dinner with my families and my loved ones. But when I think about it, so many young people right now don't have that opportunity anymore. And they might never have that opportunity. And that breaks my heart. Our family is beyond just blood. It's beyond who gave birth to who. It's everyone in Chinland, from Matupi to Zepai to Haka to Tantlang to Zokwa to Nyalon. All of it, everyone is our family. And something that I love about the Chin people is that when one person is hurting, we all hurt. And when one person dies, we all mourn because they're a part of our family. Our hearts are so big, and we were born that way. We were taught that way. This is the Chin way, and we should be proud of that. And what's happening now is that our people are hurting. While you and I can sit here, drive fancy cars, go to school, go to church, hang out with our friends, go watch movie, our people are hurting. They're crying. They don't have a shelter. They don't have a place where they can go and sit down and sleep and have dinner. They don't have a place where they can go to school because the military had air raided and they burnt down the schools. They don't have a place to go and worship God freely because the military also took that down too. When you look at this, how can you not do something? How does it not in your heart not push you to want to do something, to want to live not just for yourself, but for the people, for your family? These are not strangers. Live for your people, for your family. We cannot sit here and just watch the news and let it pass as if it doesn't impact us. These are our family, and they're hurting. And it's been going on for way too long. 2 years too long, almost 3 years coming up. And we can't just sit and ignore as if this isn't happening. We have to do something. Our Chinland, our people, they need you. They need young people to be active, to voice out. They need you to donate. They need you to give everything that you've got, because on the ground, they're giving everything that they've got. One of the letters that as my sister Sui was saying that was in Hakka, I want to translate a little bit of it to you, because this is from a person that is in the camp who is fighting for freedom. They're very young. They just attended maybe first year of university, and now they're fighting in war. And they ask for young people that are in overseas, that's you, that's me, to work hard, to study hard, and to keep studying hard, because we need educated people. We need people from every area. You could be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, a dentist, a mechanic, anything. They want you to keep going, because through you, their dreams stay alive. Through you and us working together, that's what they said. When this war is over, when it's time for us to rebuild our nation, we got to do it all together. They have taken our dreams of going to school, getting a career, going to live for our family. We now live in the trenches. But you can go to school, you can work hard, so that at the end of all of this, we can come together and rebuild our nation, our land, our people to the glory that it was before. So they need you to study hard, to work hard, to go back, to volunteer, to teach them, to teach what you know. Because everyone here is gifted. If you asked me to go change the tires on my car, I wouldn't know how to do it. But there will be many of you that know how to do that. That is a talent, that is a gift. That gift wasn't just for you. That gift that you have is not just for you. It's for your people. It's for your land. And you have a responsibility to share that gift. Are you going to do that? Other ways that you can help is to help support CDF, CNA. These young people, they're just like you, like me. And they've sacrificed everything so that they could fight. They could fight for our people. They could fight for our parents. They could fight for our aunties. They could fight for our grandparents that cannot actually fight. And so what we can do is we can support them. We could pray for them, but we can support them with our finances. We could help them. Because if this war isn't fought by young and brave people, our people will continue to live under oppression. And we will die as a people. And our culture and our tradition and who we are as people is so precious for it to be wiped away from the face of this earth. So we need people like you to contribute. You can also contribute to the civil disobedience movement. You can contribute towards shelter and food. If you don't want to support CDF, if you don't want to support CNA, support people that have been displaced. We talk about IDP. It means internally displaced people. These are people, they have a home, they have a land, but they cannot actually live there. They're displaced in their own home, in their own land. You can support those. Other ways you can do is through helping people, supporting them to access education. Education is a fundamental human right according to the United Nations. And so many young people do not have access to this education. And this is a way of the military trying to cut down a whole generation of smart, bright, young people that can go on and change the world. So you can donate and you can support towards giving people access to education. Hold on. This is a school in one of the Zope villages. Can you see that? And you look at the school that we get to go to. We get recess, we get lunch, we get aircon, we have heaters, we've got projectors, we've got everything. This is a school that some of our young brothers and sisters are going to go to. You can support them in their dreams and in their hopes. You can support AEM, which is an alternative education movement that provides online access to education across Chin State. If you don't want to support people in Hakka, in Chin State, right there, you can also support refugees. So many people have fled. Through the work of, for example, Metamorphosis, we provide access to education for people in Malaysia. You think about those people. They also live in poor conditions where they can't go to school. They live in fear that the police are going to come and capture them and send them back home. They live in constant fear. And for these young people, access to education gives them hope. So there isn't just one way. There are many, many ways that you can help support. And it doesn't have to be $50, $100 straight away. You can collect those water bottles, those plastic containers, have some change, and that will go towards ensuring that young people can have access to education. You can also support health. So many people don't have access to health care. So for example, Project Victoria, you could help support them. And this is the United Nations, the human rights. There are basic human fundamental rights as a human being. And I'm going to read a couple of them and stress the importance as to why we need to support our people. So, the fundamental human rights, the number one is that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. That has been taken away from our people. They do not have the freedom. They do not have the equality. Article number 3, everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Right now, the military are air raiding anyone. At night, they go and bomb people. Where is our right to life? Where is our people's right to life, to live as a human being? That's also taken away. Article 5, no one shall be subjected to torture or cruel, inhumane, and or degrading treatment or punishment. The military, when they go in and raid people's house, they beat the elders, they beat the men until they're bleeding and until there's no more blood. They take our women and young children and they rape them. Where is our freedom in that? That's also violated as a human right. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. They've taken so many of our leaders, so many of people that we've looked up to. Everyone has a right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. When the CDM movement, when people went out in silent protest, they got captured, they got bombed, they got smoked out, they got hurt. That's also violated. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. That's also taken away. Everyone has the right to education. That's also taken away. Everyone has the right to freely participate in cultures of life of the community, to enjoy arts and to share in scientific advancements and benefits. That's also taken away. We can't go to church freely. We can't do things freely anymore. And so this is why it's very important for the young people here to speak out. Your voice matters. Young people are change for the world. You can move mountains. Other ways you can help Chinland is through advocacy. Tell your friend at school, hey, I'm from Myanmar. Do you know what's happening in Myanmar? I'm a Chin person. I'm so proud to be Chin. But let me tell you about the atrocities that are happening. And these are the ways that you can help. Tell a friend, tell your teacher, tell your school. Have a bake sale. Have a garage sale. Do something about it. Tell people. You can go to your school. You can go to the local government. You can go to the state government. You can go to the national government. You can even make it global. We have it at the tips of our fingers. We could share things about what's happening in our world, in our community, to our people and say, hey, this is not right. We need help. We need action. We want to do something about it. And even if that is too hard, which I don't think it is, what you can do is you can pray. Pray to our God, the Creator. Pray that the nightmare that our people have been going through can come to an end. Pray by yourself, pray with your family, pray with a friend, pray in a youth group, pray at church. Because God says, where two or more are gathered, there I will be with them in the midst. No prayer will ever return void. God always answers your prayer. God made us Chin people. He gave us our land. He gave us our culture. He gave us our language. He gave us our tradition. He gave us our family. And we have to do what we can to protect our family. We have to. You can't continue on after today, leave and be like, I'm not going to do anything about it. Our people need you. They need your voice. They need your donations. They need your prayer. They need your passion. So that when this is all over, we can all go back